If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've seen Murder by Death, right?
Murder by Death, I actually saw that theatrically and can kind of remember seeing it in the theater. I don't remember what year it came out, but I must have been a real little kid seeing it.
Interesting. But it's not like this. It's not like Murder Can Hurt You, right?
Well, it's somewhat similar in that it's the whole idea of taking all of these famous detectives, parodying them, and putting them all on a case. So you've got your Sam Spade, your Miss Marple, your Charlie Chan. I don't remember.
You had said was Charlie.
Yeah, I don't remember who.
Capote's in that movie, right?
Yeah, Truman Capote is basically the bad guy in there, and Lionel Twain, if memory serves, because there's a
train, like Lionel Trains.
Yeah, there's some sort of like a choo-choo joke in there as well. It's funny because that movie is very similar to a play that I was in high school where if these pictures ever come out, I was full yellow face, pasted on goatee, pasted on. Oh yeah. It'll be one of those like my political career is over.
It's like Bo Burnham says, I'm problematic. I didn't know it at the time, but it's problematic.
It's very problematic.
Similar to the Kulturecast, the show that you are listening to now, Mike and I are about to talk about Murder Can Hurt You. The Mike that I am talking about is Mike White of the Projection Booth, who was regaling us of stories of problematic and unintentional racism in a time passed on before this one. It is funny, though, before we talk about Murder Can Hurt You, which I don't think has any unintentional or intentional racism, at least by my accounts, it is strange how long it took for the industry to turn its back on yellowface. Because it turned its back on blackface pretty quickly. We still see people doing it outside of the industry, but in the industry, it's not a thing as much as it used to be. I mean, early 90s? Soul Man?
Yeah, Soul Man. I mean, the last really big thing, other than I can't remember who the girl was that went as Crazy Eyes for Halloween. Like now, even for Halloween, you don't do blackface. No. But when Whoopi Goldberg was it a roast, and Ted Danson, who was dating her at the time, showed up in full blackface, that caused such a hue and cry when I was younger. And that was the last big thing for me of like, oh yeah, this is over. So, you can talk about cancel culture now, but like back then, whenever that was, early 90s, I guess, maybe late 80s, that was a bad thing. So we pretty much said, yeah, let's not do this anymore.
Well, and the other thing is, and you kind of mentioned it, I guess, is Robert Downey Jr. safe?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess because he was making fun of that whole "what do you mean, you people" thing.
Yeah, what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, It feels like that was, I mean, that, and then also playing, going full retard with Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it feels like that was kind of where it ended, but they were making fun of it so much that I think it was okay.
Well, and I will go as far as to say that I don't think anyone can do blackface anymore because of how much Robert Downey Jr. did it in that movie. Like, I think that's a one-time thing, probably, that people are going to put up with, but it's weird, like, every couple months you see, like, on Twitter, like, cancel Tropic Thunder. It's like, you fucking guys. You guys on Twitter, whoever you are, don't understand satire, which is
What do you mean,
fine.
you guys?
What do you mean, you guys? Or you girls? I mean, but my point stands. I appreciate and I understand that people are upset, but unlike a statue of a Confederate soldier, which has absolutely no satire and no value to it, a satirical comedy poking fun at actors in Hollywood who think it's okay to do blackface is funny, and it will always be funny because actors in Hollywood did think it was okay, and ostensibly I would assume some of them still do, and there are obviously people in the industry who still think that's okay. So,
Well, people tend to forget that those Confederate statues that are there weren't always there. They showed up around civil rights times. So, yeah.
that timing is unfortunate and or on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. They act like those statues have been up since the 90s, and it's like, or like since the 1890s, and it's like, no, it's
Right.
like the 1960s. Like,
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, would it have made sense in 1865 to put those statues up?
I would think not, given
No.
what the country had just gone through. But yeah, but yeah, no, there's no yellow face in Murder Can Hurt You, but there is yellow face in Murder by Death, which I'm kind of interested to watch it. I would be interested to watch it just because before we talk about the movie, I didn't hate this movie.
Really?
I did not hate it. I didn't like it. I'm not going to return to it, but I didn't dislike it. So before we talk about the movie, we're doing Made for Television Film Month this month. This was suggested by one of our Patreon patrons, I guess. That's what we call them, patrons. One of our Patreons.
Donors.
The supporters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to do television movies, and he gave me a list of stuff, and this was one of them. So, Andrew, thank you so much for the list this month. Mike didn't like this one, but hey, it's an easy one to not like because it's not really that good, right?
I mean, it's even just so cheaply made.
Well, yeah.
The effects of Chief Ironbottom on the top of the car, or Jimmy Walker as Parks the Pusher when he's getting pulled on the bed. I mean, those are just some of the worst rear projection things I've ever seen in my life.
I know. It's one of those things where when you watch it, you're like, man, I guess you just don't care. So let's talk a little bit about it. So it is a television movie. It aired May 21st, 1980. It is a parody of such characters as, I guess let's just start naming them: Ironsides, Starsky and Hutch, Kojak, MacLeod,
Baretta,
Columbo. Am I missing something?
Policewoman.
Columbo's wife, which had her own show. So, and it's narrated by one of the most well-known television stars of the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Don Adams.
The star of Get Smart himself, Don Adams,
yeah.
yes.
Maxwell Smart in the flesh.
Though I thought that it was a Don Adams impersonator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just like, well, that can't be Don Adams because it just doesn't sound like him. But it was credited as him. And then I think Mel Blanc also loaned his talents to the, what do you call it? I almost said cockatoo, but it's a parrot in this one.
Right, the Baretta parrot.
Right.
Yeah, or I guess, what is he called in this movie? Pony Lambretta.
Yes.
Because anyone would name their child Pony.
Pony, yes.
So they're all being hunted by the Man in White. And so the Man in White is out to hunt all of these famous TV characters. Obviously, they're not played by who they were played by in their shows. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. But like we kind of already mentioned, Mike, what did you think of Murder Can Hurt You? Because this is not the first time you've watched it, right?
Well, I think I tried to watch it once before.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wonderside's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wonderside today.
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And I turned it off, I think, even before Baretta was dead. So it was
not even the first 5 minutes.
It was painful, though. It was YouTube? So painful. No, I think I found a copy, and my copy might have been better than the one I watched on your Plex server, but not by much.
I mean, that's the one on YouTube is just as kind of icky.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really care for this. I mean, it was so frickin' corny, and just the humor didn't land with me. And I'm a huge Columbo fan, and there are so many better ways they can go about parodying Columbo. I just didn't get where the hell they were coming from with the Burt Young impersonation of Columbo. Like, the overly big wig that he's wearing, the cigarette lighter that shoots a flame up like a foot tall.
That was the funniest shit. I was hoping you were going to say that has no frame of reference for Columbo the show, because that is just a random non sequitur of a joke.
If there's anything, he's looking for a match sometimes on the show, but and it was so bad because each of these cops are represented by their theme song, which I found interesting that they could use the theme song, just little short snatches of it. But Columbo really didn't have a theme song other than This Old Man, which they used later on. But he was part of this rotating thing of movies that they had and detectives. And so they basically played like that theme song, which wasn't his, but it was just the theme song for that roundabout of shows, which was, I think it was him, McMillan and Wife, MacLeod, and Banachek. So I was surprised that Banachek and McMillan and Wife didn't show up at some point in this. I was surprised that Rockford didn't show up in this.
Yeah, I was about to say, I felt like there were, why wasn't Charlie's Angels in this?
Yeah, they seem much more easy to parody.
Yeah, Mike, before we were recording, Mike and I were sitting and talking about the characters that these characters are based on, and I was looking at the videos and theme songs just kind of to gauge the characters that these characters are based on, because while one might say, well, you're 30 and you have no frame of reference for most of these characters, I mean, we did a whole show on Kolchak. We talk about Barney Miller. Neither one of those shows have a presence in this show, which is fine. I don't expect them to. Kind of surprised that Barney Miller doesn't.
Yeah. I guess because that was comic to begin with versus these others, which were sometimes deadly serious.
Right.
Like the only episode of Kojak I remember was some supernatural one, like maybe a cult killer type of thing. So Kojak used to scare the shit out of me because of the one thing I saw, and I was just like, man, that show's too scary for me.
So theoretically, I don't have a lot of frame of reference, which is why I was looking at it. But I mean, there's no Perry Mason here. I mean, again, they don't even mention some characters that I would expect. Like you said, Rockford Files, Charlie's Angels. What's weird is I can't tell exactly why they made certain decisions, because it's a spoof of detectives.
Right.
But not just detectives, because Starsky and Hutch is in here, and I don't consider them the same kind of detectives as Columbo or Kojak or Ironsides.
Right. I mean, they could have gone for like Barnaby Jones, Streets of San Francisco, because the weirdest thing too is that it's not just the detectives, but then also if they've got like their helpers. So Jimmy Walker showing up as Chief Ironbottom's, Victor Buono's right-hand man. So I was expecting like Huggy Bear to show up for Starsky and Hutch.
Oh my God. The laziest of fake names.
Oh man, they were bad. Like, and then it was weird, like Marty Allen showing up a couple times as Kojak's brother. And I want to say there was another character that was like also on Policewoman. So I'm just like, okay, so it's not just them, but also their helper person.
Well, and what's strange is I gather, now correct me if I'm wrong here, again, not a Columbo guy, but I want to be, because it seems like a good show. Columbo's wife is like a sticking point in the show, yeah?
Well,
she like isn't in the show or something?
So in Columbo proper, the actual series that they had of these TV movies, and which some of them actually aired theatrically in different countries, Columbo would refer to his family all the time, and specifically his wife. And there was even an episode where this woman tricks, and I put that in quotes, tricks Columbo into going to his house, and oh gosh, she tries to poison him, and it's this whole thing about, you know, Mrs. Columbo is supposed to be showing up there anytime, and it's one of these we never see Mrs. Columbo. And so then they started a TV show, I don't remember how many years after Columbo started, called Mrs. Columbo, which was an abysmal failure, and so much so that they retitled it to Kate Loves a Mystery. And
because
that
she divorced Columbo on the show.
Ah, man, it's so bad. It is so bad. Yeah, I mean, I've tried watching Kate Loves a Mystery. It is very tough. One, because it doesn't make any sense that she's Mrs. Columbo. And two, because it was just very poorly written. And three, because at that point, sexism was alive and well. So there's a lot of times where she's just getting pushed down because she's a woman. And it's so frustrating to watch that as a 21st century person going, oh, this is bad. It's kind of like watching Macmillan and Wife and the sexism that runs rampant through that show.
Never seen it. But I assume that was something that a friend of the podcast, Richard Haddam's wife, she's a fan of Macmillan and Wife, right?
Yeah.
That's who we were talking about with.
That one I can actually still watch because it was a well-written show, but it was just, it's more funny than anything, especially because Macmillan is Rock Hudson, who's like acting all big and studly and all this kind of stuff, and it's just like, okay,
we know in 2021.
We know what's going on with you, Rock.
We know the reality here.
Yeah. I'm like, you were probably a little bit more open-minded than your character was. And then also, I can't remember who they have a helper guy in that who I like a lot. Oh God, I'm forgetting the actor's name, but he played Painless the dentist in MASH. He's a fantastic actor.
Speaking of MASH,
yeah,
Jamie Farr is in this movie.
Jamie Farr and John Byner. Are you familiar with John Byner?
No, I'm familiar with Jamie Farr, though, in as much as I know what MASH is.
Right. Well, and Jamie Farr also around this time was doing like the Cannonball Run movies where he was playing an Arabic character, which kind of makes sense, I guess, because he's Lebanese, if memory serves. But
yes.
Yeah, John Byner, you actually saw him in Transylvania 65000. He had a very small role in that.
Oh, no. Why are we bringing this movie back up again?
He did some voice work in The Black Cauldron. He was in one of Burt Reynolds' finest works, Stroker Ace. And he...
It's a better title without the R.
Yeah. Well, I always think of that, like, who was it? The Korean guy who made the film Stoker, and I just kept thinking of Stroker Ace the whole time.
I just think of Stoker like the airplane.
Yes. He was in soap for a long time. He also had a TV show on Showtime. I don't know if you've ever heard of the character Super Dave Osborne. Okay, well, he became famous-ish from this TV show that was on Showtime. Biner was mostly known. He was a stand-up comedian for a long time and was really good at...
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wonderside's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wonderside today.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Impersonations, so it was kind of like him and Tim Thomerson were like the impersonation guys for a long time.
Huh. But John Biner didn't walk on his knees.
No, he was no dwarf.
He was no dwarf on dwarf? Dwarf on
no.
Dwarf? Dwarf on cannibalism.
But he was a funny guy, and I don't know like why he went away. I think he still does stuff here and there, but he just he fizzled at some point, and it was like, okay, what happened to John Biner? So at this point in 1980, it was like kind of a big deal that he was there, and I think that's why they keep cutting to him, so it's not just like Jamie Walker, who's like out of sight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Biner was actually on an episode of Lore, which is a TV show based on a podcast. So that's interesting. Yeah, I kind of assumed as much, given how much screen time he was being given for it literally not being there.
Right.
Yeah. So again, the whole plot of this movie is you have this man in white killing these characters, and the longer the film goes on, more characters die. So Tony Danza plays Tony Baretta. I just call them by their fucking names because I'm not going to say Pony Lambretta over and over again.
That's painful.
But Danza plays Baretta, and he dies at the beginning of the movie by getting
cooked in a
casserole of his own creation.
It wasn't a blintz.
That's
it was something else.
Saying, they were saying he got blitzed.
Yeah, because it was pancake mix and cheese. Yeah. Which is quite a way to go.
I was about to say, that's a hell of a that's a jump. That's a hell of a way to go, is for sure. Yeah, so he dies, and then they get all brought together by Kojak in this film called Kojak, and they have to figure out why they're being hunted.
And I liked Gavin MacLeod as Lieutenant Kojak. Like, of all the performances, I was okay with his, especially there's a part where they're trying to capture the man in white and they're all hiding around the city. And you see at one point, I think it might be Jamie Farr stands up and he's got all this fruit on his head because he's behind a fruit stand. And then cut to all of these watermelons, and then Gavin MacLeod stands up and his head is painted like a watermelon. It's like that might have been my only legit laugh.
Wow. I mean, yeah, so let's just kind of address it because it needs to be addressed. This is a comedy, and it is not very funny. Even if I knew the references, and I'm assuming you knew a lot more of the references than I did, I still did not find it funny.
Right. Yeah, just there were so many things where it's like, you take the idea of Starsky and Hutch always going after, chasing tail in all of these episodes and stuff, but then they just blow it up. I mean, I guess that's the purpose of parody, right? You blow it up and you say, oh, isn't this funny? Like, we're going to have them just be sex maniacs, and we'll start them off in a hot tub, and they're trying to have these girls fish for their whatevers.
Zinkies.
His Zinkies, yeah. I didn't get that either. I didn't get not the fast food, but the what do you call it? Snack cakes and all that.
I thought that was. I just assumed that in Starsky and Hutch they ate a lot of snack food.
I guess. I mean, I mostly remember Starsky and Hutch running around the city, kicking a lot of ass, driving that sweet car,
wearing those cool get-ups.
Those cool get-ups, yeah. Waiting for David Soul to start singing.
Yeah, don't give up on us, ladies, or baby.
Yeah.
I think is that what it is? Don't give up on us as baby. Yeah, that's a good song. I actually own that vinyl. That is a good song.
Nice.
It's so good.
It is a good
it's
song.
so good that it's in the Starsky and Hutch movie.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and that, look, we have our differences of opinion on Todd Phillips. I think he's a piece of shit.
I think he's a piece of shit too.
But I like Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah. I mean, there are funny moments in there. I think some of my most favorite moments in there are basically recycled from the Ben Stiller show.
Sure.
Like that Do It character is, yeah, that's just a character that he did before.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Ben Stiller show. Thank you for bringing that up. Ben Stiller show is woefully underrated.
Oh God, yes.
Lord, it's kind of like Idiot Box. It came out at a time where people could, and then I know that might seem as nepotism because I'm plugging something that people that I'm friends with worked on, like Tim, but. I mean, Idiot Box, Mr. Show, Ben Stiller's show, those three shows really had a pulse on, subversive, counterculture of the 90s humor.
Yeah.
And, they still hold up now, which is not the same that can be said for most things that came out in the 90s.
Right. Well, and you look at, to talk about parody again, you look at some of the parodies that Ben Stiller did, like his version of Die Hard, Oh my, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, there you go.
In high school.
Right?
Yeah, I saw that I remember watching that in high school when I was 16. I was like, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yep. And then him with the gun and the wig and everything. He's just like, what was it? Yabba dabba dooba dabba dabba.
And he's in a supermarket?
Yes, yeah.
That's the whole gag.
Of all the days, of all the guys.
I mean, the Ben Stiller show is great. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it understood parody in a way that this doesn't. Because, like you said, the thing that this does almost across the board is it just takes the characters and dials them up to 11. And that can work if that's one or two of the characters, but not every single one.
Well, and even like a MacLeod character, it's like, I like Buck Owens a lot,
Me too.
but he just doesn't have a whole lot to work with here. It's like, take MacLeod. I mean, MacLeod is one of the best fish out of water stories. This kind of hayseed detective who's actually pretty darn smart, but he's stuck in this urban setting where he is that fish out of water, doesn't really know what's going on when it comes to that stuff, and has to navigate his way through. Okay, well, don't say that he's really super smart. Play him up like he's a yokel who's come to the big city and doesn't understand anything, doesn't know what parking meters are or whatever. Just like go for the gusto that way. But poor MacLeod, poor Buck Owens in this, he doesn't have anything to work with, man. I mean, his funniest scene is just that he managed to escape all of the cement was being poured on him because he knew, like, puppetry and, like, built this fake statue. Yeah. It's like, okay, and that's not a laugh out loud moment. That's a smirk moment.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is they took his character and they just dialed it up to, like, he just says kind of weird, like out of not like out of touch. He doesn't say like anything offensive. He just says like weird turns of phrase, like I'm a tenderfoot, or I bent my bottom rattlesnake, or some shit. I mean, it's to that effect where it's like just that is the sole characterization of him,
right?
And it is beyond fucking lazy. And well, it's beyond lazy, and it's disappointing because, like you said, of all the characters in the movie that have things to do, he is given the least to do. Except for maybe Connie Stevens, who plays a character that just wants to have sex with everybody, which I assume that's not Policewoman's character.
Yeah, I have to admit that I've never actually sat down and watched an episode. Maybe I watched one episode, but I don't remember the Policewoman show that well. And I don't remember her. I mean, because the character that Connie Stevens is playing is this raging nymphomaniac, and all the men are just, I mean, Connie Stevens is beautiful, so they're all just falling all over themselves with her. And again, it's like, make her so maybe she's super sexy but doesn't know she's super sexy. Like,
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wonderside's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.
You know, like, oh, why are all these guys all over me kind of thing. Like, there was just nothing there. It was just like, oh, yeah, let's make out all the time. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Great.
It's strange because the characters that do land, and I know you kind of spoke to Columbo already. I kind of like, I mean, I love Burt Young, so I'm into it. Like, Burt Young, while I have not seen Columbo, Burt Young is doing a impersonation of the character that I know to be Columbo. I know that having never seen it, that's kind of why I preface that by saying, while I have never seen the show, that is my kind of own head canon of what the character is. Probably Burt Young's characterization is not close and or funny. Clearly, you did not find it as amusing as I did, which makes sense given how much of a fan of Columbo you are. But yeah, there's nobody is given much to do.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate...
It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, don't think that I'm defending Columbo just because I love Columbo.
No, but you have
I
frame
like
of reference to what Columbo actually as a character is. I thought that Columbo had like a thing with a lighter. Like I was like, oh, that must be really funny. And then hearing you say like that's not a thing, it's like, okay, so it was just like a dumb thing that they did.
Right. And Columbo has a dog, so there was kind of that. But the things that kind of worked with Columbo were when he starts to drown the old lady because he's convinced that she is the murderer, or when he sets fire to the room that Ironsides is in, so that he'll get up and walk away because he's convinced that he's actually the murderer. Those are okay because Columbo was always super smart and 5 steps ahead of everybody. But Columbo, I mean, again, it's tough to parody because Columbo plays dumb. Columbo the whole time, he's just always like, scratching his head and just like, it's not me, it's the boys at the lab, it's my chief, he really wants me to follow up on this thing. He's very much a blue-collar hero type of guy where it's like, just kind of put upon, and that's the thing, it's like people don't suspect that this little schlubby guy is this really brilliant mind, and like he'll walk into a crime scene and basically have it all completely solved, and then the fun of it is to watch how he trips up the criminal and unwinds everything and basically drives the criminals nuts. So I've seen good parodies of that. I've seen, I was talking about Biner and Thomerson. I've seen really good impersonations of him. I'm trying to remember. I've seen other good impersonations, like the whole thing with the hand on the mouth kind of thing that he does, or, the scratching of the head, and just all of these physical gestures that he has, and the way that he always does the one more thing kind of thing. But that wasn't really there. Like, I like Burt Young a lot.
They didn't do the one more thing.
No. I mean, that's the line.
That is the thing. That's the only thing of Columbo that I unequivocally know, truthfully, is a Columbo thing, other than Peter, who plays him, is the one more thing.
Right.
They never did it.
I mean, they've got Gavin MacLeod saying, "Who loves you, baby?" I mean, I don't know if everybody had catchphrases, but though, that is Columbo's catchphrase, and they at least had Kojak's catchphrase in there, and they had him with the sucker rang true, and I like that they were using a sucker as like a way to almost murder him. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, and that he knew what company sold those particular lollipops.
He knows all the sucker stands in town.
That's right.
Because he's Kojak. I agree. I think it's just immensely lazy. But yet I kind of find the film a little charming. I find, it's not... It's a little long. They reuse sets so blatantly. They reuse sets in a way that is like... I can't even begin to imagine what was going through their minds. We're like, we'll just set it in the same spot. Like, the same exact spot. With the same exact characters. Like, what?
Right. Doing the ladder gag twice.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah, the ladder gag was not funny the first time. And it really wasn't funny the second time.
And that weird thing how Starsky goes crazy and thinks that Hutch is still there. I'm like...
That might be my favorite part.
Yeah, that was kind of strange, but I was like, okay. Like, I did like when he went to pick up Ironsides and it's just like, just pretty much tips him over.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get uncomfortable around handicap jokes, you will not enjoy this movie because Victor Buono is the butt of so many jokes so often in this.
Yes, he is. And I don't find the character that he plays to be funny. I don't understand what the humor they were going for was. I have not seen Victor Buono in anything else. I guess I've seen the original Batman where he plays King Tut.
Yeah.
But I've never
I like how that's his photo on IMDb. I mean, the guy was in so many movies and they end up using the King Tut photo.
And he was also in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which he won an Academy Award for. So...
Yeah. He was pretty great. There are times where he shows up and he just owns whatever he's in. I really like him a lot. But, I mean, he knew camp and could camp it up like crazy.
And he is about to be in something that we are going to be talking about very soon. The Flight of the Dragons.
That's right.
On another show that we do together with the aforementioned Richard Haddam, where we talk about Rankin and Bass movies. I guess he's in there too. So there you go. Him and James Gregory. Jeez Louise.
I highly recommend that you check out The Mad Butcher. I think it was an Italian film with Buono. He plays it to the hilt in that film.
Oh, really?
Really good. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like in this movie he's not like everybody else. He's not being able to do what makes him funny. Because Gavin MacLeod is what, on Love Boat? On Love Boat? Was he funny on Love Boat?
The character of Captain Stubing wasn't that funny. He was very funny on Mary Tyler Moore, though. He was absolutely hilarious on that.
So he's funny in this. Victor Buono is funny. Tony Danza is not a comedic actor. I guess. I don't know. Is he?
I mean, he was great on Soap. Soap was fantastic.
What else was he was on? Who's the Boss?
Who's the Boss? Yep.
Who's the Boss?
And Taxi. He was great on Taxi, too.
Yeah. He's just like, I mean, I know it's because the way they had the character being the first one that gets off, but...
Right. Yeah, he's barely in the film, which I felt kind of bad for. I was glad to see Mason Adams show up as the Wino character. I like that actor a lot. He's a great character actor. He's got that great voice. He was the voice of the Smuckers commercials for years and years.
Smuckers commercials?
Yeah. It's like, with a name like Smuckers, it's gotta be good.
Wow, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's got that kind of high-pitched lilt type of thing. Yeah. It's almost like Petra's Farm remembers up there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, everybody in this movie is good. In, like, everything else that they're in, right? I mean,
yeah.
Jesus. What's funny is you have all these people together the only time they're ever together, and this is it. Like, that's probably, for me, the biggest disappointment, is looking back on it now, these are, like, names that people in 2021 are, like, completely at odds with because they don't know who these people are.
Right.
But, like, if you were in 1980, this was a big deal, right? I mean, the characters are famous and popular. The actors are famous and popular. I mean, we can go down the list and name the things that all these people were on. We have, in most cases. Buck Owens was on Hee Haw. Burt Young was in the Rocky movies, on top of God knows what else, because Burt Young just seems like he's in all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Walker is in what? Good Times, right? Like,
yep.
And yet this is what we get. It's just, it's a little disappointing, but it's not bad. I don't think this is any worse than kind of the most middle-of-the-road pair.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wonderside's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
parody movies I've seen. I mean, like, parody movies kind of aren't good anyways. Like,
I have a real soft spot for parody movies a lot of times. I mean, I've even seen all of those shitty Friedberg and Seltzer movies just because...
If Trevor was on this podcast, he was supposed to be on here with us, he would lose his mind.
What? Does he like those?
He hates those movies.
Oh, I hate them too. Yeah. Trust me, I hate them very much.
He just won't even watch them.
Well, I watch them just to see how bad they are. But I guess I have a limit because there are the ones like, 30 Days of Night with the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, blah, blah, blah. Like those ones, like How to Train Your Girl with the Dragon Tattoo kind of things. Like, I don't watch...
Nights of Paranormal Activity with the devil inside the girl with the dragon tattoo.
That's it. Yeah.
You were like
those type of movies.
there. That's a fucking mouthful of a title.
Yeah, and there are a few of those. And then there was one called a Spanish movie, which was a parody of Spanish films. There was one called a Serbian film, which was not funny at all.
A parody of Serbian films.
There were so many Serbian films that they could have made fun of, but they just, I don't know what they were going for with that one.
The Starving Games?
Oh, God, yeah. I've seen, all of those type of things, and so I like a good parody, like Murder by Death. I consider a pretty good parody.
Tropic Thunder, Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
Is Hot Fuzz a parody? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and especially that they're watching the clips and then reenacting the clips later on.
21 Jump Street's a good one.
That is a good one.
22 Jump Street, also pretty good. Johnny English is a good
one. Not bad.
Just talked about Johnny English. Pretty good. I prefer Johnny English as a send-up of James Bond to Austin Powers as a send-up of James Bond. But they're technically sending up the same Bond, but Austin Powers is sending up Roger Moore. I would contend that Johnny English is parodying, like, Pierce Brosnan. Like, specifically Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, I really like the Austin Powers films, like to the point where I was losing my mind while I was watching the second one just because I thought it was so funny and just laughing my ass off in the theater.
Unfortunately, it has Robert Wagner in it, which is not great, but,
What? What don't you like about Robert Wagner? That he's a murderer?
Yeah, that just little fact. Come on.
Forgive it. It was just a woman. They don't count.
Oh, okay.
You can murder women with impunity. Yeah, it's okay.
Well, clearly you can. Oh, she just was in the water, and we just thought nothing of it. Like, okay.
Hello, Robert Blake. You can get away with whatever you want to.
It's true, Robert. Did he get away with it?
Yeah, he got away with it, though. He's not acting, as far as I know. I'm surprised he hasn't made a big comeback.
Is he dead?
I thought he was still alive because I was trying to get a hold of him for the Electric Glide in Blue episode that we did years ago.
Oh, no, he is still alive. He's 87. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised there's not a podcast series about him.
Yet.
Yeah, pretty soon.
And he was on Little Rascals, right?
Yeah, he's got a long career. So, I mean, he definitely came by his insanity fairly because he was a child actor way back in the 1930s. Yeah. So
well, he was on imagine
what shit he went through back then. I mean, remember was it the Jackie Cooper story about we're going to kill your dog, and how he was just like, Mister, don't kill my dog. Like, they thought, like, to make him cry, they told him they were going to kill his dog.
Oh, emotional manipulation of children.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. The Little Rascals that he was in, where he was Mickey, that was 1940s. So, my bad.
And
I was a whole decade off.
His final film is fantastic, Lost Highway. I mean,
yep.
He's great. I mean, if anybody has seen anything from Lost Highway, it's that. It's that Robert Blake weird-ass scene. Like, Lost Highway has its problems, and it has its moments, but that is, like, one of three moments that's just like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't talk, because given that Baretta, is played by a guy who murdered someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the kind of parody movie that I would gravitate towards. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
There are much better ones. Would you say, what's the other one? Murder is Death?
Murder by Death.
Murder by Death. Is that better than this?
I like it better. And, I mean, I've seen it let's say, within the last 10 years, and I thought that it held up. I mean, there's some very easy jokes that it goes for, just like this one does, but at least in that one, like, you've got Nancy Walker as this mute cook, if memory serves, and I think Alec Guinness is playing this blind waiter, and Nancy Walker is basically the audience stand-in because she sees how insane things are and just like can really act with her face and just like, what the hell's going on? So a lot of eye rolling and sighing and all this kind of stuff. But I really remember liking that movie quite a bit. And that, there you go, you got Peter Falk in there. So it's like him doing Sam Spade. It was fantastic.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you know, the problem with something like this is there's nothing else like this specific movie. They never get all these... I mean, the funny thing is, while these characters are parodying... These actors are parodying those characters, this is still a mashup of all these characters together, because they're essentially still playing them. They're playing them, obviously, dialed up to 11, but it is kind of cool to see Ironsides and Starsky and Hutch. You know, again, they're parody versions, but you're never going to see the real versions together, so this is as good as you're going to get.
Right.
And it's kind of cool to see that. It was kind of cool with the Expendables. Like, it's kind of cool to see all these people on screen together.
Well, it's funny because the writer of this thing, and I think a lot of this goes back to the writer, Ron Friedman, he actually worked on Starsky and Hutch for a long time. So it's like, okay, you know these characters, so it's weird that I'm just like, the snack food and the oversex kind of thing. I mean, the one thing I liked about those characters was how they go to Roz Kelly, the incredible Pinky Tuscadero from Happy Days. Seeing her show up, I was very happy about. But that all of the prostitutes know them. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. You know, they aren't above paying for sex. And the writer also did Sledgehammer, if memory serves, and Sledgehammer was kind of a send-up of these cop shows. And it's been years and years since I've seen it, but I remember really liking it and found it very funny. So it's like, okay, you can do comedy. You know how to do this stuff. I mean, the guy was all over the map, like doing The Fall Guy and New WKRP, which I didn't even know was a thing. Did a ton of cartoons like G.I. Joe and the Fantastic Four and Iron Man, all this stuff, Fantasy Island. Yeah, so it's like, okay, you know how to write, and you know how to write comedy, but I don't know why this just didn't click, why it wasn't as funny as it should have been. And
apparently, Ron Friedman was on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, and he apparently, on their first podcast together, Ron Friedman told a story that is apparently about Lucille Ball telling Desi Arnaz to pull a gun on Orson Welles. And
really?
Threatening to kill him if he didn't deliver a long-promised script for Fountain of Youth. But apparently Ron Friedman is a raconteur now, so it's kind of cool. I mean, look, you know, it's unfortunate, though, because, for the guy who's... It's weird to be the guy who's worked on these shows. Maybe it was just like, I don't fucking care, like, whatever. Just make it as easy for me as possible. I want a paycheck. You know,
right.
I'm not going to say that's what it is, because if this guy is going and talking at 88...
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wonderside's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside, Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Dev Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
Years old to Gilbert Gottfried and other people, he must like working and regaling people with stories of his time in Hollywood, but yeah, this is just not funny. Not in a substantive way. It's funny in a very like superficial way. There are a couple jokes that kind of break past that superficiality, but yeah. I mean, you have a character, the Victor Buono Ironside's character being pushed into a wall a bunch of times. Like that.
A lot of times,
the first time's funny, but like the 5th fucking time, like good lord, it's a little much.
So the funniest thing for me with this movie wasn't funny ha-ha, it was funny peculiar, which was when Jimmy Walker shows up. So to ruin the movie for everybody listening, nobody actually dies in this movie. They are all okay.
We can't kill the characters.
So Jimmy Walker comes back. We think that he's been murdered, and he comes back, and he's there with this African-American lady who has all these braids in her hair, and I'm just like, God, that woman looks familiar. And then as I'm watching, I'm just like, that looks like Tanya Boyd from Black Shampoo. And I was looking at the IMDb page, and she's not listed. It's not in her filmography anywhere. I'm like, okay, it must not be her. And then I realized, they only show like 12 people on this IMDb page. And then when the credits came up, there's Tanya Boyd and a ton of other people. So now I'm going to have to go through IMDb and update these credits because I think everybody deserves credit for what they worked on. So even if Tanya Boyd tries to like disown things like Black Shampoo and Ilsa, Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks. So
what was that?
What you going to do? Ilsa, Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks? Pretty sure that was the title.
What kind of movie is that?
Are you familiar with the Ilsa films?
No.
Well, Ilsa was...
What, is this the Nazi thing?
She's kind of a Nazi. The first film was She-Wolf of the SS, and then Ilsa, Tigress of Siberia, Ilsa, Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks, and I think the Wanda the Wicked Warden character was very similar to Ilsa. I don't know if it was supposed to be an Ilsa film, but it was kind of like women in prison films mixed with like early torture porn type things. So it'd be like, I remember just like, it kind of reminded me too of like Nazi exploitation, like Gestapo's Last Orgy, those type of movies. And then with Diane Thorne as this Teutonic, princess, like complete sadist in there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like my kind of movie, but...
they're not really mine either, but I did watch The Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks just because Tanya Boyd was in it.
So she tried to disavow your favorite movie?
Yeah. It was pretty much like, we were talking about her latest stuff, and then... and I was asking her about a couple other things that she was in, and I was like, well, my favorite movie is Black Shampoo, and it was pretty much interview over as soon as I brought it up.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many times has that happened?
Not there that often.
So
most of the time, yeah. Most of the time it'll be like, oh, yeah, and they'll talk about it. Like, I was talking with a production designer the other day, and I was just like, well, there's a movie that you did that I want you to know I'm being serious, that I really like it. And she was like, I think I know which title. No, and I said, the new guy, the DJ Calls film. She's like, yeah, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. I thought you were going to say something else. And I was like, what did you think I was going to say? What was that? Corky? Oh, shit. It was a horrible movie. Not Dickie Roberts' Child Stars, though she worked on that one, but it was like quirky.
Kind of like Robert's Child Star.
Yeah, not Corky Romano, because that was a fantastic movie as well.
Has Folk in it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, me too. You sound like Robert Goulet there, you sounded like Leslie Nielsen there for a moment. I love it. I've been swimming in raw sewage all day. I love it.
What the hell was that? The name is, and Corky was also a movie with Robert Blake. What was that guy's name? Was it Nick Swearington? Oh, God. Nick Swardson.
Nick Swardson. Oh, Nick Swardson. But they tried to give him a movie.
Yes, and the name of that movie.
Pathetically at that.
Yeah. Well, what the hell was the name of that movie? Wasn't Bucky Larson? There it was.
Bucky
Not
Larson,
Corky.
Born to be a Star.
Born to be a Star. Yeah. And so luckily, because I brought up the new guy, she was fine. And I said, like, oh, do you mean Bucky Larson? And she was like, yeah, I took that off my CV for a while, but it's still there. I'm like, okay.
I don't understand why you would take something off your CV. You got to eat. You got to pay your bills.
Well, she eventually put it back on because she was trying to be in a movie that was produced by one of the producers of Bucky Larson, so she wanted to be like, I worked on a movie that you also worked on, so kind of thing.
That's how the industry works. Bum, bum, bum,
yes.
bum, bum, bum. Hey, is what it is.
Yeah. Boy, this guy, Alan Covert, who was one of the writers.
I love Alan Covert.
Yeah? Has he ever... Oh, man. He's done some shit.
He's a bit player in a lot of Adam Sandler movies. I mean, he played you've seen Happy Gilmore, yeah? He plays his hobo bag carrier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he plays in Waterboy. He plays one of the dudes sitting in the crowd with Clint Howard, who's also in Waterboy.
I love Waterboy.
I know, Waterboy's great. I mean, I hate Adam Sandler movies for the most part because I think they've kind of overstayed their welcome because Adam Sandler's comedy hasn't evolved.
Right.
But, like, yeah, Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, I mean, Little Nicky is a personal favorite. I know, it's Quentin Tarantino's finest hour.
Definitely is.
This is truly the pinnacle of your career, is being in Little Nicky as a blind preacher. And Clint Howard melting wax all over his naked body. So, and Henry Winkler covered in bees. So.
Oh, Henry Winkler,
I know,
so good.
I know.
Water sucks.
Oh, fucking Jerry Reed is in Waterboy. I want to rewatch Waterboy now, having seen Smokey and the Bandit.
Nice.
Yeah, because, like, Eastbound and Down, that song is amazing. He's amazing in that movie. All movies that are funnier than this one.
Yeah. This movie was nominated for a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Achievement in Hairstyling.
The main character in this doesn't have hair. I mean, whose hair? Jamie Farr?
Maybe Mrs. Columbo's unibrow?
Oh my god. So we mentioned Mrs. Columbo. Mrs. Columbo is the villain of the movie. It's straight out of Scooby-Doo. They pull the mask off, and it's, oh my god, it's Mrs. Columbo. And they go, it can't be Mrs. Columbo. Pulls at her face. No, it is Mrs. Columbo, because, again, like you had mentioned, Columbo's wife is kind of a thing that wasn't a thing, I guess. Yeah. So they just addressed it here, and they're like, yeah, his wife wanted to be a detective like him.
Right, which I thought was kind of funny when they were just like, she was jealous. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I honestly found the reveal of the villain to be rather smart, because it's like, I sit there all day and listen to your bullshit. I'm smarter than you. Because they're all... The thing is, in their own shows, I'm assuming, at least the ones that I've seen, they're made out to be the smartest people in the room. In this movie, they are the dumbest assholes in Los Angeles.
Right. Well, and they could have been dumber, too, is what I was trying to say earlier. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was good, the double reveal that it wasn't Roz Kelly, that they pull off the mask. Oh, it's the man in white. Nope, they pull off the mask. It's Mrs. Columbo. I kind of wish the man in white had been somebody, like a familiar face.
Anthony Silva?
Yeah, it's like,
I mean...
Yeah, Henry Silva would have been fucking
the
fantastic.
guy from Naked Gun 2. That's the only thing I know him from. Who gets the hose in his mouth? He's another face.
Oh, Anthony James.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were,
he's
like,
got a
doing
great villain face.
The man in white was essentially looked like either one of them.
Right. Well, even Michael Delano, who plays a thug in this movie, he is one of the bad guys from Commando, Forrestal. Like, he would be a better villain than the guy that they had for the Man in White. Like, that guy was barely in anything, and like just did not have a recognizable face. That was another smart thing about Murder by Death, is it's a little stunt casty, but also not, that they had Truman Capote as basically that type of role.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you cast someone like Truman. Hold on a second. Somebody's making noises over here. Making noises. You want out? I'm sending you back to the bedroom. Come on. Crackers. Nibbler? No. Come on. Crackers. Crackers, come on. Crackers. Come on. Come on. I mean, Nibbler, go. Crackers, go. I don't know what to tell you guys. Sorry. I didn't have you guys in the office with me. All right. Complaint has been lodged with management.
I heard that complaint.
Yeah. I stand up, I do anything. They just bark.
God damn it, Dad. How are you doing this?
It's strange because the guy who plays, like you said, the guy who plays the Man in White has done like nothing else. It's like additional crew. But yeah, I don't know. I would have thought the way I would have done this, as I'm sure it would have been the way you would have done it, was never show the Man in White's face until the end.
Right.
Right? And like show him from the back and make it. I mean, it would have been funny if it had been one of the actors who play one of the characters on their shows. Like, it turns around and it's Telly Savalas.
Or, I mentioned all the detectives they didn't use. He turns around and it's Buddy Ebsen, because he was Barnaby Jones. You know, like, I've always wanted to be part of this group, or something like that. You guys didn't think I was cool enough to invite.
Or even further, he wants to kill all of them so he can be the greatest.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and like, why that wasn't the well that they went to almost immediately is a little strange. I mean, I get the direction that they went was one of our own is dead, we have to come together, as opposed to we are being, hunted by someone who's not one of us. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but like the killing off of Tony Danza's character at the beginning is kind of a real bummer, because I feel like Tony Danza would have brought something to those interactions between all the characters that it desperately needed.
Right.
So he's not there, we don't get it. And the movie just kind of suffers. I mean, the movie kind of suffers for a lot of reasons. But I will tell you, it is a movie. It is, I mean, again, TV movies are as much movies as anything else. I really don't like that distinction that TV movies get. That, like, they're not actual movies. It's like,
yeah, they are, as far as I know.
Yeah. I mean, again, the fact that movies get made at all is kind of astounding. Given how much work and time and effort goes into making a movie. I mean, so many of us work in it on our computers, working on stuff. It's hard to see people working on things in person, and then all this stuff gets transferred to the computer person, and they do all that stuff along with hundreds of other people. It's like so much. I mean, there's a reason all those credits are at the end of movies. It's not just for show. It's because hundreds of people work on these things, and it is a genuine shock that they show as well as they do, and that some of them are as amazing as they are. Because, man, there's a lot of hands touching these things. So, I mean, even the title of this movie is not the same one. It's known as No Jack and Co., which is not a better
I guess that
title.
must have been... Yeah, I'm wondering if that was like the VHS title, or when they showed it in reruns, what that was.
Yeah, I don't know. It's on IMDb, but it's not in English, so my assumption is maybe this is how they were selling it overseas.
Right.
Because they have Kojak or No Jack on the cover of the whatever this was, VHS or DVD. So, but this has not gotten a Kino Lorber release. Maybe it's up for one. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, again, I don't know if people would be into this now. Probably not.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it feels like there's always an audience for whatever. I'm sure that this is somebody's favorite film. Somebody probably grew up watching this and can recite the lines by heart.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And it's produced by Aaron Spelling, because of course it was.
And, you were talking about TV movies are real movies. The thing about TV movies that always get me is usually their timeline is so much shorter than regular feature films. So you're working at a much faster pace and getting this thing done. And this was being shot probably during the summer or like whenever they were taking breaks, but this was being shot while these people were actively working on other things. Right. So this was like Gavin MacLeod was working on The Love Boat at the same time. And I want to say the director and maybe even the writer worked on The Love Boat as well. So they were just all working on this, during their off time, not their off time, but, like their break between seasons.
Right. And again, is this the best way to start the month? I don't know. But it's not as bad as I anticipated it being. Because I kind of expected to walk into this and just be like, oh my god, this is an hour and 40 minutes. It's just a headache. But it wasn't. I mean, again, I had seen enough of it on YouTube to know that it was kind of all over the place. And I mean, you, like you had said, you had told me before I watched it, like, I started it and I turned it off. And I'm like, oh god, if Mike turns it off, that is... I mean, we've talked about some things that have forced us to get, stop, walk away, come back, break it up because it's a little much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. I mean, those first 10 minutes of the movie are pretty rough.
Yeah.
There's kind of the first 20 minutes, almost 30, is spent, like, giving each character an introduction, and that just drags the movie down. It's like, let's just show the character in a setting that you normally find them in, but let's make it, like, goofy as hell. So, it's a lot, because there's, like, 10 characters in this movie. So, you got to introduce every single one, give each one a moment, give each one's music a time to play. I mean, with a movie like this, half of the movie is getting everybody together. It really is.
Yeah. But I do like getting a group of people together for a movie. This whole idea, it's like the Dirty Dozen. Yeah. It's like that's some of my favorite stuff. Is like, where were they? And then, Lee Marvin coming in and plucking them out and saying, okay, you're going to work on this team, and it's a no-win scenario.
Yeah, we're getting the band back together.
Yeah.
Those, like you said, those kinds of movies are cool. We're going to be talking about something here pretty quick about keep people getting the band back together. I think with Suicide Squad coming out relatively quickly, you and I are going to talk about that, I think, maybe?
Yeah, and then what I'm hoping for is that with this new one, that each character is introduced and they have a song for each one of them, a needle drop for each one,
yeah.
And then like any sort of background information that would be good to know, you just show it as a graphic and just like flash by it really fast.
Fuck, dude, and then make sure one of those songs is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, yeah, we need to blow our budget on like 4 songs.
Yeah, and then what you do is you fire the editor and you hire the guys that cut the trailer, bring them in to actually cut the movie.
Can we talk about that? I know this is completely off topic, but as someone who now does audio editing as not a career, but it's a job that I do, I cannot imagine that. That to me is like, who is making decisions here and why are you making them? Like, why did someone leave you in charge of it? Like, turning it over to the trailer house?
Yeah. Well, that trailer is great. Let's get those guys in here and cut this film.
Yeah.
Just a majorly bad decision.
Yeah. The David Ayer thing, the Ayer cut. David Ayer took the route that Zack Snyder didn't. David Ayer's like, you know what? His movie's going to be great. Like James Gunn's Suicide Squad is not a replacement to my movie. My movie still exists. Is it the movie that I wanted to make? No. But to be fair, movies are also... Like, the fact that directors get as much say as they do also is kind of astounding. Because given how many hands are all over these projects. So, David Ayer was a lot more respectful of what happened with his project than our friend Zack Snyder.
I mean, would I like to see what David Ayer did?
Sure,
yeah.
Of course.
Sure. I think his cut deserves its time in the sun, and I'm just glad that people aren't whiny little bitches about it.
I mean, the Snyder Cut thing was... we had the pandemic going on, so, like, the Snyder Cut shit wasn't as big of a deal, but, like, if we hadn't had the pandemic going on, the fact that the Snyder Cut came out, like, you would have had people in theaters going ape shit
Oh, yeah.
for that movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's, when we talk, again, like I said, as someone now who, thanks to Mike, I'm part of this industry more so than just podcasting, getting to hear people in the industry like you do, like I have, talk about these things, talking about it is one thing, but, like, being part of it while these things are going on, it's just mind-blowing. Like, the amounts of people that get to make decisions, the amounts of decisions, like the smallest decision that's being made versus the biggest one, sometimes they're given the same weight, and that's wild to me, because, like, somebody's got to make a decision. We need to make some progress. We can't just sit here and make 5 minor decisions in one day, and that's all we did. It's like, oh my God, like, we need to move forward a little bit. But, man, one thing you don't do is hire a fucking trailer company to cut your movie. Just don't do that. And also, don't hire someone and not let them make the movie that they want if that's why you hired them. You hired David Ayer to make your movie. David Ayer of Training Day, right? I mean, that's like his claim to fame, more or less, right?
Yeah.
So, you don't let him make his movie? Okay. All right. I don't think we'll ever see the Ayer cut, though. I mean, I don't think so.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
You never know.
I know.
I mean, nobody thought we were going to see the Donner cut of Superman 2. That only took, 30 years for that to happen.
That's fair. We still have a long lifetime, maybe. So, yeah, maybe. Yeah. So maybe we'll see the Ayer cut. Maybe, Mike, you and I will share a beer as the world is slowly heating up and being glassed over as we're watching the Ayer cut on our little CRT TV as the universe ends.
That's right. You met me at a very strange time.
Cheers! We're watching the Ayer cut, folks. This is the final podcast. We're going off the air because the zombies will break in at the end. So, Mike, would you skip or watch Murder Can Hurt You?
Skip. With prejudice.
Wow. So ultimately, at the end of the day, skip it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with skip it, but I will say if you are a fan of these shows, I think your mileage is gonna vary on this kind of stuff too. If you're a fan of one of these shows, like a super fan of one of these shows, this is probably the only thing like this you're ever gonna get. So check it out. It's literally on YouTube. It's not hard to find. But yeah, I would still say skip it. Probably lighter of a skip than you, but still a skip. So, on that note, let's play a preview for the next Kulturecast of TV Movie Month. That's right, the next Kulturecast on TV Movie Month. You know what I just realized? And I'm probably going to have to amend this. So let me walk this back. So, I would play a trailer here, but given that it was a movie that came out on television, it's not really a trailer I'm searching for, but like a TV spot, and some of these don't have them. So, on the next episode of the Kulturecast, we're going to be talking about 1984's True West, which is a adaptation of a play, I believe.
Is it Sam Shepard?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. That's the one with Malkovich and Sinise, just like Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, but in this one, he doesn't get to feed the rabbit. That movie is unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah.
It's not... It is the movie that they make fun of in Tropic Thunder, right? Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Malkovich, Sean Penn. They're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I'll be joined by a friend of the podcast, Josh Stewart. Him and I will be sitting down and talking about True West. So until then, what has been keeping you busy over at the internet's finest movie podcast, the Projection Booth, Mr. White?
Well, you should know, Chris, because you were on 2 episodes this month. We were talking about African cinema, and Chris is on talking about Thwart and Dakan, 2 very similar titles, but 2 very different movies. And I've also been talking about Tuki Buki, and the final film of the month will be I Am Not a Witch. So, always good to check that out. That is all throughout the month of August. And then we slide into September. A little bit of Shocktober, some Noirvember, all the theme months, baby.
Yeah. Hey, man. I feel like did you do theming months before early on in your show?
Way back when Rob first started, we were doing Black History Month stuff, And I can't remember. I think the first Checktember was back in 2017, so it hasn't been that long.
I was wondering, because I don't remember you doing themes originally, like when you and I first met.
No, it took a little while, and then after a bit, it was like, oh, let's go ahead and, here's 4 noir films, let's do Noirvember, so those kind of things. And plus, I was going to like NoirCon also, which usually took place in like late October, early Noirvember.
I was about to say, I whenever I started the show, I was like, we should just do it themed, because it makes it easier that way. Less disparate stuff. Not that I think people give a shit either way, but people want to hear us. If you hear me talk about this 4 same things in a month, if you're into that month, you're going to be into those movies. So. Yeah, no, I have been on 2. I was going to say the only thing about those 2 movies, I won't say which one. One of them has a weird Star Wars parallel, which is, again, not something I would expect to say in the film that it was. So to find out which one of those movies it is, go listen to both podcasts. I think I'll watch those movies, because I assume they're both amazing. I know half of them are. But this is coming out before that.
That's correct.
But and as always, you can find me at cstachiw.com. That's my link tree. Mike and I do a podcast together called Mike and I do a podcast together called The Life and Times of Barney Miller. You can find that on cstachiw.com, along with the other show that we do, Dreams for Sale, which is a show about the Twilight Zone 1985. And we also do a show called Rankin and Bass, which I already plugged. So there you go. As always, big thanks to everybody who listens, all of our patrons over at patreon.com/Kulturecast, and to you, Mike, for, finally sitting down past the first 10 minutes of the movie and watching it. So, hey, you know what? At least you finished it.
Yeah. Accomplishments.
Put that gold star in my book, please.
Can mark it on Letterboxd now.
Exactly. You'll be one of 4 people. So, and as always, make sure to check out the next episode.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.